Oh man, it's a Western. It is a Western. A man wanders into town that is built on graves, and
God, yes.
the vultures are, karma is coming back. We have a generational violence, reckoning with your past, greed,
literal class warfare,
and more comedic sexual violence from our protagonists. That stops soon, I promise. But, this... I don't know if I probably laughed at it when I was 15, but I feel bad about it now. This is that some kind of Japanimation thing? A semi-autobiographical millennial nostalgia podcast with at least 3 twists. My name is Scott, and my co-host for this episode and the full season is...
my name is Justin Mahareb, also known as the bitter guy to like 5 people. So,
thumbs up. Yeah,
thumbs up.
This is our new show in which I watch. I watch shows from my youth. I watch anime from my youth. When
you rewatch a show,
I rewatch a show. The twist is that Justin is someone who has never seen the show. So we are one of those shows where we have an experienced guy and a new guy. And
the new guy is the old one.
The new guy Zany. The new guy is in fact Gen X. That's part of the twist on millennial nostalgia. Yes, we are both from an era where you had to get these from a video store under the Japanimation section, which is a big part of why that is the title, but it's also... Justin, explain the bit. Explain the bit of why you do this to me.
Way back in the early 80s, when what is now called anime was dribbling in dribs and drabs and had to be experienced mostly in strangely butchered adaptations. Battle of the Planets, seriously. Asteroid was okay. I didn't get Speed Racer. I didn't get flying battleship laser shot show. What's it called?
Are you thinking Star Blazers, Space Battleship Yamato? Yeah.
Yeah, I read everything I learned in an article in Starlog magazine. I'm literally growing older twice as fast as normal, everything I say. Anyway, so back in the day, it was called Japanimation because it was animation, which came from Japan. Very nice. Everyone loved it. And I enjoyed what I saw. And then one night I went to see a double feature of Akira and Legend of the Overfiend. And that was like, well, thanks a lot, folks. I'll be over there. And amusing anecdote that comes out after that. We can share that at some other point. But yeah, so, over the intervening years, I watched a few here and there. Never really got into it as much as, say, my gracious co-host or many other people would have. So when I would see some sort of quirky reference or joke relating to a anime trope or character, I would say, is that some kind of Japanimation thing? Because I thought it was funny. And, it sort of became a thing I said. I abbreviated it to a hashtag, the hashtag ITSKOJT. And yes, on occasion, I do still indulge. I watched Getting the Mech Little Boy show, and that was very enjoyable.
Yeah, this is weird. It. Like, as much as I am like, no, Justin is here to be the new guy who is baffled. He's watched Ava and Akira. Yeah. He can't get too baffled about anything.
I've hung out with many people who liked anime and, just absorbed enthusiasm and a little knowledge, little smidge. So, yes, that's why we have this weird title that makes sense to hopefully you now, dear listener, in addition to ourselves.
I like it because it invokes, I think it keys in to the nostalgia factor and the confusion factor. And that's we're going to be open, we're going to be earnest, we're going to be honest, we're going to embrace being baffled the entire time. Because there's still one more twist coming up in a few episodes.
Oh my God.
The twist for the second half of the season is coming. We are going to start off season 1 with Trigun, which was a anime based on a manga that ran in Young King Hours. It originally aired. Young King Hours is a shonen magazine. It originally. Justin, just go ahead and ask me when I say a word if you want me to explain it.
Could you clarify shonen for me, Scott, please?
Yeah, all right. So, Young King Hours is a shonen magazine, which means that it is its primary demographic is men between 8 and 12. That's the big thing.
I feel comfortable referring to them as boys. Actually, that's
I mean, yeah, no, that's fair. That's
not in any judgmental or derogatory sense. I was a young boy myself when I was between the ages of 8 and 12. There are no illusions there.
Yeah, so it ran. The original author was Yasuhiro Naitao. The anime went to air in 1998, famously the year of the Space Cowboy, because Cowboy Bebop and Outlaw Star also aired in 1998.
Okay.
The anime was directed by Satoshi Nishimura, who is probably also known for Gungrave and the original Hajime no Ippo. Gungrave is on the maybe list for another season, and Hajime no Ippo also on the maybe list. They're good shows. It was written by Yosuke Kuroda, who is actually gotten a lot more famous. He's been hooked into Sunrise a lot more lately. So he was a main writer on Gundam 00, Gundam Build Fighters Try, currently airing Mashal as well as Birdie Wing, which is about lesbians who golf, but it's also secretly a Gundam show, I promise.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
I believe you.
Yeah, the other thing about this is that it's got music by Sunio Imahori, who mostly plays 6-string guitar on other people's soundtracks, but he, does a lot of his own compositions, including Gungrave, a couple of different movies, TV commercials. He's in a bunch of very, very weird prog rock bands that I like, and
bit of a redundant phrasing there, Scott.
Yeah,
very weird prog rock.
Yeah, prog rock that only appeals to one guy? Oh, yeah, no. Exactly. The other thing I have to mention before we get into we're going to go through the first 5 episodes this recording, but before we do that, I want to remind everyone that we are sponsored by Hobby Link Japan, which is a website that sells you merch and figs and wall scrolls and all manner of things from Japan, including the figures with that are not safe for work. You shouldn't have
the booby figures, Scott.
They got the booby figures and the sex toys, things you should not have on your visible in your conference calls if you need them. But I want to highlight a product.
You're clear.
Yeah. I want to highlight a product this episode, and that is the 1/8 scale Art FX -J. Why is it -J? Who knows? But it is the Vash of the Stampede 1/8 scale statue. It's a reissue. You can pre-order it right now. It'll ship in May, but you can get your pre-orders in. It is a good looking complete figure from Kotobukiya. It's 19 centimeters tall, bit of PVC, bit of ABS, but you can. It is a handsome figure, and you can pre-order it now. You can have it in time, and if you use the link in the description, I'll get like $1.50, and I'll give Justin at least half of that, at least 70 cents of that. That's how this is gonna work. Otherwise,
I mean, Scott, I would be happy with discussing a rate, but I don't feel the equal partner in this. You are the guiding force in this. So feel free to keep 80 cents, and I'll take 70.
Oh, 80 cents? All right, that sounds great. But again, use the link in the description. Even if you don't buy a Vash the Stampede figure, you can peruse their catalog, find something you like, and something I want to point out about HLJ is that they will warehouse your orders. If you're interested in smaller objects, they will just keep them on a shelf for you, and they can bundle that all up later so that you can save money on a boat from Japan. I know the ground shipping from Japan is finally open internationally again, but if you ever wanted to just save a little money and have a bulk shipping without paying for one single price, it's great. I really like HLJ.
That's a great service. I'm just going to say, because international shipping, even if the two nations are like right next to one another, it's insane. It's wild.
Well, actually, I want to point out points to Japan Post. Actually, like ground shipping is small packet ground shipping from Japan is like $8 to Canada, which is absurdly low considering what everyone else charges for ground shipping to Canada. But if
you want to get something sent from Buffalo to here, let's not talk about that.
No. But I'm saying, but if you want to bundle it up for, a large packet ground shipping, you can let that sit and wait, and it'll be there for you. They have many products that might interest you if you're a fan of things, including food. They've got snacks, man. They've got snacks. I don't know if you can get apple Kit Kats, Justin.
I was going to ask. The man knows.
No Kit Kats. Sorry, bud.
You say Japanese snacks, Justin wants exactly one thing.
He does not care for sodas with marbles in the bottle. No, he just wants white chocolate with weird flavors around a cookie. Before we get into episode 1, before I even asked you to review this weird show with me, did you know anything of Trigun before we started?
I knew it existed. I knew there was a guy with weird hair on the cover of a role-playing game supplement published in the early aughts, late 90s. I knew that a lot of guys in red raincoats walked around anime conventions. Popular outfit. For all I know, I saw Millie and Meryl dozens of times and just didn't know who the heck they were. But yeah, definitely the lead has a popular aesthetic, so I knew it existed. I could not have told you anything. I didn't know, for example, that it was a Western. It seems to be a Western. I may be mistaken. I did not know about the structure of the narrative that we were going to experience. So very, very much ignorant going in. I'm like, yeah, what's the Trigun? Does he have 3 guns? Does not have 3 guns. Just has 1. Makes good use of it. Or does he? 5 episodes in, I could be mistaken.
Yeah, we're gonna learn a lot about this guy over the next bit.
Oh, great, because we've learned absolutely nothing about him in the first 5 episodes.
Yeah, no,
I wasn't sure about his name the first time I watched them. I'm like, is he? No, I don't. So now we are going to learn.
Yeah, the first 5 are very much about ambiguity all the way around. They got 26 episodes and they reveled in it. So
now is it just the entire series of 26 episodes, or are there multiple seasons?
More recently, there was a reboot/revival from a studio called Orange that goes back to the source material, the source manga, in a different way. And that's going to be the back half of season 1, where I've only watched a couple episodes of it, and I'm going to be confused as you.
Yay!
Yep.
Teamwork.
That's the plan. That's how this is going to work. So, we're going to kick it off with episode 1, The $60 Billion Double Dollar Man, directed by series director Satoshi Nishimura, written by Kuroda. He is the only credited writer on this series. That doesn't mean there aren't more writers or that episode directors did not contribute to writing. It just means he got the credit. Writers Guild, different in Japan, different in animation. It'll take years of fact-finding to figure out who wrote what, is what I'm saying. We start off with a lot of exposition.
Yes.
just...
Can I say it appears that the exposition may not be 100% reliable?
Yeah, no, people lie. People are subject to their own perspectives, but it is, we know that a man destroyed a town and that no one died. And that's something people are capable of joking about, which is nice.
Well, no, but at the beginning, they're like, oh, he murdered everyone in this city. I'm like, oh my God, that's terrible. And then we go on back to the actual city, and it's like, well, thankfully no one died, although this town is messed up. Oh, wow.
Yeah, we get the brilliant and beautiful gag of, like, the bounty hunter guy opening the door, walking out, and seeing that the door is the only part of the building that still works. Great sight gag.
That's some quality craftsmanship there.
Yeah, just quality craftsmanship going on.
It's a Western.
Yep.
Is that a safe assumption? Is that based on what we see in the first episode and continuing on? It has the themes and aesthetics one commonly associates with cowboy movies.
Yeah, so I'm going to hold up my DVD copy for Justin to see, and he can see that the poster is very much a spaghetti Western poster.
Okay, there you go. Is that on a horse?
No horses.
Okay, so...
Yeah, so
but it uses the aesthetics of the genre.
It is very much, very, very much buried and very much entrenched in the aesthetics of the Western.
Now, his coat seems a little closed for someone in such a warm climate.
It keeps the dust out.
There is that, yes.
We are then introduced to our pals, our tag-along characters, Meryl and Millie, who are with an insurance company because they are out to find this man, this Vash the Stampede, who destroys towns and maybe kills everybody. Because the insurance company just does not want to pay out any more insurance, and they figure sending 2 girls to stop some sort of mass murdering gunman will stop that.
Someone's got to keep an eye on this guy.
Let's send these 2. And not, I don't know, a strike team.
Well, I mean, they may seem a little bit unthreatening at the beginning, but, in spite of her affection for delicious, by the way, looking pastries, Millie does carry a huge chunk of steel. That looks ominous.
Yeah. Millie's packing. She's packing, I don't know, it's some sort of what should be a vehicle-mounted anti-personnel weapon.
It looks like a giant staple gun when we actually see it in action. I expected to see some guys pinned to a wall.
No, definitely that. But we see the insurance agency has decided that we're just gonna send some handlers onto this death machine, and that'll stop us from having to pay out on fixing buildings, even no matter how good their doors are, I guess.
Which is good, because that door was the only thing not covered under his policy. He would have been SOL.
I mean, just new doors can't cover doors. That's an act of God right there.
You're
God
on your own
doors.
there, Sheriff. Yeah. Yeah, I saw those guys at Anime North one time.
Oh, God. I think last year was even worse, but I don't want to feel too bad just yet. The main action of the episode is that we have some big steampunk cyborg guy with a giant boomerang is chasing this blonde idiot in a red coat. And one guy has a gang of dudes with, machine guns and shit. And interrupting this is a third guy who also has maybe a red coat, a coat with a red lining, and a ridiculous gun. It's, again, the gun this guy has is absolutely nonsense. It's got
spinny shooty. It was very...
It has 2 side mount magazines, but for 2 barrels, and he needs to... The action of cycling it involves him physically turning the barrels over. This is a Borderlands gun before Borderlands guns existed.
I am seeing that there. Yes.
Yeah. It's very silly and cool and over-designed, and that's a lot of things in this show.
I'm now that you mention it, there is Borderlands puts no small amount of its aesthetic from this show.
Oh, absolutely.
Or I'm sensing it. It may be they both have this source.
No, that's absolutely the case. And we see that this blonde idiot is just absolutely able to dance around everyone and clown on them. Absolutely clown on them. And the episode does a really good job of cycling between moments of high tension and high silliness. Like the pre-roll, the pre-credit sequence is him, this entire bar being destroyed by a whole gang. And this guy sitting at the bar that is no longer a bar behind a giant, presumably wrought iron sign, finishing his drink.
It's a patio now.
Yeah, it's patio dining. Low seating, though. Low seating. Just one chair left. And he stands up, and he goes to shoot, and we get the credits. And then we find out that his gun wasn't loaded, and he had to lizard run away. And
I am noticing in that first episode, I thought, wait, why did his face just look like a cat for a second? And I think that is just a aesthetic of the genre,
that's just
right?
an anime thing. Characters who are silly get to have cat faces sometimes. And so
I thought there would be one recurring cat, by the way. The black cat who shows up in the opening credits, I thought they would be a recurring character. Seems to be there's just tons of black cats all through the West.
So
every town you go to.
That design is in every episode, every single episode. She has a name, and the creators insist it's the same cat every time, even if that doesn't make sense.
Oh, okay. I am willing to concede that to them. I assumed it was different cats, but if it's the same cat, that's cool.
Yes, this weird space planet Western has black cats everywhere. Only black cats.
One black cat.
No.
So the rat problem is not really being helped that much.
No, probably not. We see that everyone is not sure who Vash the Stampede could be. They all have faulty information. They all fight over it. And eventually, they team up. Enough people team up to decide that, no, the blonde idiot is the Vash. Except the insurance girls. They don't think the blonde idiot is the Vash. And they all fight it out. And it ends with Vash doing his one cool thing for the episode. Our blonde idiot does one cool thing for the episode. And he, defeats the entire gang, plus the bounty hunter, plus dodges the boomerang, and doesn't get hurt, and collapses a cliff on a second town, but nobody dies.
Thank goodness. They had to pay out for that, though.
Yeah, no, they had to pay out. They had to write reports back to home office to explain that, no, we have to pay out. And with the introduction of the Thomas, some sort of rideable kiwi bird that is maybe also an anteater, but with thagomizers on their tail. It's a weird animal. Does seem like.
So I'm beginning to suspect this is not set on Earth, but on perhaps some sort of extraterrestrial location. Or
like there's a lot of things that are very different for this to be Nevada or even Arizona.
That would make more sense. Gambling doesn't seem to be as enthusiastically pursued here. I'm assuming Vash is the guy in the red coat.
Well, he is in the credits. He is in the credits.
The credits are in Japanese, though, and I don't.
I'm just saying, like, the opening theme song has a lot of shots of this blonde idiot guy, so he's probably our main character. But for this first
I can
episode...
assume he's the main character, but is the main character of the show Vash the Stampede? It's a little unclear.
This is good ambiguity that they are using... For as much as the first 4 episodes are the same episode over and over again, they are using that setup to play with you and make you question. It also helps that as much as Vash, this blonde-haired idiot, who may or may not be Vash, is our protagonist, our perspective characters, Meryl and Millie, and their job is to be like, no, he can't be that guy. Can he?
He's some guy that people keep calling Vash, and he never says yes.
But also, they've called 2 other guys Vash this episode, so, there's doubt. There's room for doubt. Episode 2, The Truth of a Mistake. directed by Shigeki Awai, who he's been working 40 years. He's at this point an old man, but he's got decades of episode credits, single episode credits, storyboard credits, key animation credits. This is not a show that really generates superstars, but episode directors are all guys who are working and gainfully employed and happily doing it. So it's a very specific sort of animation. It's very workmanly.
And I will say, by the second episode, the theme song was starting to grow on me. I was digging the riffs in there.
It's heavy, and I mean, I have tremendous love for Imahori outside of his weird prog bands that only I like. But his work on this and Gungrave and Ippo and Text No Lies. He also is a session guitarist. He's mostly known for his session guitar work with Yoko Kanno. So he played guitar on Cowboy Bebop and Turn A Gundam and Macross Plus. So he is a guy you've heard him play six string loud and fast. And one of the fun things about his relationship with Kanno is that they will tease each other. They will make fun of each other's songwriting habits. A lot of next year in 1999, they will collaborate on Turn A Gundam, and a lot of Turn A Gundam soundtrack is making fun of how he does riffs, where Turn A Gundam will have very long sequences where they're just panning over landscapes, and there are tracks where it's just like, yeah, just do a Trigun thing over this pastoral landscape, and it's like, you know, Airplant on Turn A is a Trigun song. And at the same time, there are bits of Gungrave where he's like, oh yeah, I remember episode 5 of Cowboy Bebop. Here's my version of that song. And they do this.
Excellent.
They bug each other. It's fun.
Well, it looks like they've, they're familiar enough. They get to share their perspectives back and forth. That's very good.
Episode 2 is the worst episode of the show, probably.
It, good, because it didn't feel as strong. It definitely did live up to the first one. But,
yeah.
Is that guy supposed to be Hitler? Just throwing it out there.
He has the
little
mustache.
guy with the mustache and the controlling of resources. Just a little evilness.
He's dressed nice. He has a mustache. And, okay, the plot is that this guy with the mustache, he has one of the few sources of spring water in this desert. And he has monopolized it, and he has priced everyone in town out of it. And I don't know how he makes money anymore, because no one lives there anymore. So he's just got this underground well that freezes it into blocks, and I don't know if he's shipping. I don't know how he makes money. It does not appear that he is a bad businessman.
They don't clarify his business plan.
Yeah, it's not part of it. We are introduced to the fact that he is under attack by a gunman, a lone gunman with blonde hair and a red coat, and he has also recruited a different blonde gunman in a red coat to pose as Vash the Stampede to scare off the first gunman. And
you can see my confusion.
Yeah, like this is it. This is again a new version of like, but who could the Vash be? We have two possible Vashes, and one is explicitly a lie, but also still the guy from the opening credits.
The beautiful idiot.
Also, he just has a house guest that he keeps behind a curtain for some reason.
Yeah.
She agrees to this. She has agreed to just chill behind a curtain.
And who, in the end, turns out to be the
first blonde, red-coated gunman.
Yes.
She is a woman. There's
a law woman.
Yeah, she's with the cops. They don't explain how law enforcement works. She just has a badge. We don't know what crimes Mustache Man actually did beyond price people out of the water market, which, if that's a crime, I would like to, could this woman visit Nestle? Could this woman visit?
I was about to say. There's several corporations that she could spend some time with here on Earth.
Also, there's just a couple of different sequences where our blonde idiot Vash number 2, attempts to sexually assault this woman. which is
He
played for
he does not
laughs.
behave
And
appropriately.
this is a thing that we play for laughs in anime too often. That's it. We also have Vash, our blonde idiot, who may be the Vash, it does the one cool thing for the episode where he just dodges a bullet. That's his one cool
He's
thing.
very nimble. I mean, if you're gonna have one cool thing to do in a Western, dodging bullets is definitely up there.
Yeah, he like straight up dodges a bullet and then acts like an idiot to dodge 10 more bullets. That's our climax. Our mustache man blows up his own ice pump, his pump/ice factory that somehow makes him money. We don't know.
I'm willing to go with export. The people in this town can't afford it. The people two towns down can. So, he moves it out there and they're using it to make drinks for rich people. Just like Greenland ice in Dubai.
That's fair. They used to do that in Banff. There was a company that would shave the glaciers of the Alberta Rockies and ship it to both Dubai and Tokyo. And then the National Park Service was like, how about don't?
Yeah.
How about don't?
Let's put that on the back burner as something not to do.
How about, and this was in 1992 before we were really worried about the glaciers in Alberta.
Yeah, there were lots of them back then. You could just go into Banff and it's like whoosh all the way up there.
Glacier National Park is going to need a new name soon, is what I'm saying.
Ooh, ouch.
Saying.
Ooh, climate change jokes.
No jokes. No jokes. All right, episode 3 is Peacemaker, directed by Shigehito Takayanagi, who is best known for being the lead director, main series composition on Blood, Blockade, Battlefront, and Beyond, the second season of Blood, Blockade, Battlefront, which is also based on a manga by Yasuhiro Naitao.
I was going to say, is that a place you go to get Bloods and Battlefronts?
I mean, and Beyond,
Yes. The Beyond is implicit.
Where we are introduced to a small town where everyone is just armed.
Yes.
Everyone is armed. And
there's a town drunk.
There's a town drunk. And we are, again, because the first 4 episodes are the same episode, we have another guy posing as Vash the Stampede, who tries to rob a bank with his gang, and then is defeated not by our blonde-haired idiot who has spent the whole time being drunk and trying to convince this other drunk to help him fix his gun, but by community intervention, by which I mean everyone has a gun.
Yes, it is a well-armed. What's the line about a well-armed society is a polite one? Which
this is the most Tucker Carlson town in anime. This is the Tucker Carlson town in anime. But no.
So this episode you can view on Twitter.
Yeah, this is the only anime endorsed by Turning Point USA.
PragerU presents PragerU for Kids.
Just this one
presents
episode.
One episode of Trigun. I did notice that Millie did get her millefeuille with Ceylon tea.
Yeah, she finally got dessert this episode.
Yes.
We finally got dessert. We also get the situation where Millie calls our blonde idiot Vash, and then he says, hey, which is, she takes to be proof that, no, our blonde idiot who's in the opening credits is Vash. And it's like, but you just said hi to him.
Yeah.
Walk outside your house right now and call someone Vash the Stampede and see if they wave.
See, like Lily, at this point, I'm like, is there even a real Vash? Does the character exist? Or is it simply a concept of some sort of bandit, some legend that's bigger than any one person? You see, like, is it the Dread Pirate Roberts of this Western planet? I don't know.
Is it perhaps like Mad Max, where he's a folk hero template that anything that goes right for you, you just ascribe to Max Rockatansky decades later?
Sounds good.
Perhaps. But the big thing about this is that our blonde idiot encounters a man who is desperate and believes he cannot change his ways. And then he does something absurdly optimistic and then convinces our alcoholic gun maker to change his ways. This might be a theme going forward, is what I'm saying. Plant a flag here.
Make a note.
We have our one cool thing of the episode, and the cool thing is just that he has a cool boot knife. It is a more teched up version of the Rosa Klebb. He wrecks someone's car with it. And I guess he's, like, really cool about walking up to, you know, a whole gang of guys with no gun and wearing a trash can like a hat.
He's confident. There is that.
Well, we've already seen he can dodge bullets.
Yes. Now, I mean, the issue is he can dodge bullets to be funny or because it's a vital necessity not to die. Like, how much of a toon is this gentleman?
He does have the ability to do cat face, which is pretty toon. It's pretty high on the toon scale.
You mean you could have done that at any time? Only when it was funny, Millie. I know. I got... Okay. Holy shit, did the gunsmith have a dark origin story? Oh my God.
Yeah. Again, for 9-year-olds, people, for 9-year-olds. This is a comic and cartoon for 9-year-olds. This man handed out free guns in hopes of being the Tucker Carlson of space, and then found out what happens there.
I just did a quick Google of Trigun action figures, and there's like a line of about a dozen pictures. Vash, 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 Vash. Meryl? Vash, Vash. Can't quite make it out. It says Vash, but it's not bright red. Vash, Vash. Giant gun person. Like, there's no idea what that is. Not going to ruin that, but yes.
We'll talk about McFarlane Toys and the interaction with Trigun probably later, but it's a theme that's going to come up.
Excellent.
All right, so we are going to move on to episode 4, Love and Peace, directed by Toshikatsu Tokoro, who, again, decades of work, episode director, unit director, storyboards, opening themes, whatever. He, again, working animator. This is what I'm going to call the first real episode of Trigun, because it is based on the pilot chapter of the manga. This was something Naitao wrote and drew and inked and lettered and did all the parts of that when he was submitting this to magazines trying to get picked up. So this episode is based on the actual source material. And, oh man, it's a Western. It is a Western. A man wanders into town that is built on graves, and...
God, yes.
The vultures are, karma is coming back. We have a generational violence, reckoning with your past, greed.
Literal class warfare?
Class warfare, and more comedic sexual violence from our protagonist. That stops soon, I promise. But, this... I don't know if I probably laughed at it when I was 15, but I feel bad about it now. Our blonde-haired, red-coated idiot wanders into a town. He has been apparently hitchhiking, and he asks to be let out at the edge of a graveyard that is miles long.
I thought he was taking a cab of some kind, because he does hand the guy some money.
Maybe it is a cab, maybe it's hitchhiking, maybe he agreed to pay. The insurance girls are already in this town for unrelated reasons, possibly. We see a young lady who is playing poker and winning.
Doing pretty well from the looks of things, yeah.
And then a bunch of dudes just show up and take hostages.
Was she specifically the target, or were they just...
Oh, yeah.
It seems like it.
She's the target. She's the target. These guys all have beef with the mayor, who is only mayor because he... killed everyone out front, as it were.
Yeah.
And...
because he built the town's graveyard.
Yeah.
As it were.
As it were. First public works project, that graveyard. And they are going to the gang is determined to do things to that daughter as revenge. And, that there's a hostage situation that may or may not be bogus. And as the sheriff and his guys are sitting out front, our blonde-haired idiot has a Walkman, and is just being a complete goof, and just dances his way into the front door.
He joins the hostage situation already in progress.
Yeah, he dodges fire, perhaps because he is dancing, perhaps because he is very good at what he is doing. It is unclear. He is, once again, our blonde-haired idiot from the opening credits. We don't know if he's good or bad at it, if he's brilliant or a moron at any point so far. And we see that one of the gang just loses his shit. He loses his cool. And he succumbs to the pressure and starts trying to shoot hostages, and somehow nobody dies, including gum in people's guns. Because we saw our blonde idiot man chewing gum earlier, and how could he have done that if he were not absurdly competent? But if he were absurdly competent, why would he just dance into a situation?
He's the classical fool. I'm sure if I had studied that Italian theater thing, I would
Commedia
have
dell'arte.
That's the one. He's not Pagliacci. He's one of those guys, though. Hey, anyone smart who studied that, leave us a comment in the show notes.
Yeah, please help us. That's the thing. No, there's actually a lot of Commedia dell'arte in anime. We might talk about Ranma someday.
Is that the one about the panda? Is there a panda in that?
There is a panda in Ranma.
Paying attention. There you go. Letting it all sink in through the noggin.
There you go. Justin pays attention. He just doesn't have time unless I tell him to do this. So,
assign me an episode, then it'll be fine.
Anyway, the hostage situation continues, and the sheriff has decided that the best possible solution to this hostage situation with a high-value teenage 20-something girl who the mayor wants alive, is to just hire some lunatics. Just some lunatics with guns to storm the place. Nothing could go wrong.
I can't see any downside to this plan.
What could possibly go wrong? It is at this point that we reveal that our blonde-haired idiot knows that Meryl was involved in the first freakout and shot up some light fixtures to knock guys out.
Well, that comes after she gets to do her incredibly cool scene.
Yeah, her cool scene.
Because that was like Morpheus level cool right there. Like a goddamn manta ray blocking out the sun. My girl Meryl.
Benefit. So things come to a head, and our hostage taker leader agrees that he will let everyone go if he can have a shootout with the mayor, because he feels personally aggrieved. We got some unforgiven shit going on here. And at this point, Vash says one word, our blonde idiot, who may or may not be Vash. This is not a question in this episode, actually. That's not something that comes up. Our blonde-haired idiot says, all right, he says, no, I can't let that happen because of Rem. We don't know who Rem is. That could matter later.
What's a Rem? I don't know. I noticed that. That's in my notes. I'm like, Rem? He's a big fan of Automatic for the People, which in some way is incredibly relevant to the narrative in this episode.
Somehow.
Everybody hurts.
And it is at this point that the sheriff, just betrays everyone. He's like, no, yes. I'm not going to let you have a fair fight. I'm just going to murder you all, and I'll be the mayor. Won't that be great?
So it's like a Romulan ship.
Yeah, it's just Klingon, like some sort of weird Klingon Romulan task force that is only murders.
Advancement via betrayal.
And then everyone starts shooting, and then Meryl has like 90 guns. She just has 90 guns.
So many, like Cloak of Derringers. That's got to be, first off, incredibly heavy.
It's so, like, this is the most cool over anything else. Like, this is the most rule of cool thing. It's like, no, she has 80 guns strapped to leather belts inside her jacket for the express purpose of firing 2 shots and then dropping them. And I'm like, you could have... AK-47s exist in this setting. You could just have an AK with the folding stock. It would take up the same amount of space in your jacket. It would be lighter, and you'd be able to shoot as many guys.
Derringers weigh 0 in this in these mechanics. So
yeah, that's it. It's Fallout New Vegas rules.
But it is very impressive when she goes to work with those.
And she wrecks everybody up, and we hear the explanation of the backstory of why the hostage taker is mad at the mayor. The mayor explains why he's a bad person and he's trying to do better. And then our blonde idiot just hacks up the sheriff and insists that the world is made of love and peace and that you can be better. And then he just makes everyone else feel bad and they leave. This is also a theme that will matter later.
Victory through love.
And peace. And shaming your opponents.
I did notice that was Chekhov's graveyard at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's not unusual for a story to have a town with a large graveyard outside because it is set in a venue where people die. Where people have died during the creation and stuff. And that's definitely the case here, but it was intentional.
Yeah, no, this is absolutely like High Plains Drifter, but optimistic and slightly less sexual assault. Slightly less.
He's going to get that out of his system.
I hope, probably. It's coming. So, episode 5, Hard Puncher by, again, director Yoshimitsu Ohashi. Probably known, again, a lot of key animation credits, a lot of board credits, a lot of app credits. He's a guy who is working to this day. He does good work. Especially, he's a great collaborator because Nishimura's style, a lot of what I think of as Nishimura's style gets to shine through in the climax of this episode. But this is the first real chapter of the manga. Episode 4 convinces Monthly Shonen Captain to run this monthly, as implied by the name. And they launch in 1990, in the 90s, not 1998, but 1996 or 97, with this chapter, which starts with just... our beloved blonde idiot in a red coat from the opening credits, trying to eat lunch. And then everyone pulls guns on him.
Yes, he seems to have... they seem to know the value inherent. At some point, do we learn why they call them double dollars? Is that just double dollars is the value, is the currency here?
It gets highlighted in... episode 3, but it's popped up in a couple of other episodes, is that all of their units of measure have weird names that seem familiar. Like, they use aisles instead of miles, and yars instead of yards, and eiches instead of inches. So they're implying some sort of linguistic drift, in a certain sense.
Ah, okay.
So we have a bunch of goons pull guns on him, and he wins. With a child's toy.
Yes.
And they just leave.
Yes.
They just leave.
Yeah. Oh my god, if he could do that with a child's toy, what could he do with an actual gun?
We'll just leave now.
Yeah.
That's...
I don't want to be involved in this.
I have been so embarrassed by losing to a child's toy. I will not even consider reloading my weapon and trying again later.
Which means that this is being run under the Genesis system, and he's providing social defeats of them instead of physical ones.
Yeah, or Genesis or Fate. Fate will also allow a social defeat instead of a procedural defeat.
Or it's Torg, and he achieved a player's call with a trick attack.
There you go. None of these supported by Guardians of the Order's Trigun D20 A game
Would
that
it be some? So do you have the Trigun? Was it a D20 supplement?
it was like Guardians of the Order was a Trigun D20, not a Tristat. They might have done releases of both, and then I could have bought a PDF with both versions. But no, this was Tristat. This was D20 anime, part of their D20 anime
Because that's how you
line.
make money back in the early aughts.
That was how you did it, and also
Yeah.
not paying your artists or layout people. By the way, they
You-
still
well, you-
have not paid their artists or layout people. Don't
I-
buy
I-
Besem
I-
for.
I can't say whether that's 100% because I knew a couple of their layout guys, and they were the ones who seemed, out of a job, but not as. But yes, there were problems with how that company was wrapped up, at least communications wise. It's unfortunate they couldn't FASA it at the end.
Yeah.
But everyone made money doing D20 supplements because the market was huge back then, as it is now. And at no point has WotC figured out a way to get a cut of that sweet D20.
Well, the point was that no one could. The point was, Dancy had the right business model, and then he didn't. He was not left. He did not secure a position that would allow him to explain that to executives, because Dancy is wrong about everything else since the OGL. Okay, no, I think print on demand was a good idea he had. Not to be in the weeds about tabletop role playing circa
RPG deep.
2003. This will come back if we ever cover the Slayers. It's definitely on the list. I think Justin would like that show.
Oh, excellent.
And this is the first time that really our blonde idiot's powers of being goofy and also being able to do the cool thing coincide. They actually synthesize. He is a complete goof in that he fakes his death with ketchup. Tomato sauce.
Yeah.
Where are they getting tomatoes in the desert? Who knows? But he does.
Well, obviously they're growing it with that water from the episode from the guy in season 2.
Yeah, that's it. Like Ice Block guy is shipping it to the tomato farms of some other town.
He ships it to Tomato Town, which uses it to grow the tomatoes, and the tomatoes get shipped to Ketchup Town, who make the ketchup, and Bottle Town bottles the ketchup, and there you go. A very efficient industry.
They're very efficient, and the bullet farms are just somewhere else.
They're just crank them out 24/7.
After he does like 2 goofy things by defeating a bunch of bounty hunters with a children's toy, everyone in the restaurant thanks him by pulling guns on him again.
Yes.
Because the entire town is hard up for money. That'll come out in episode 6, I promise. But right now, the entire town needs a lot of money real fast, and they are gonna kill this man to get it. And this man is gonna be a complete goofball for about 20 minutes running away from his problem.
The whole thing is like that funny sound that cartoon characters make when they're running away from someone. It's like a Scooby-Doo episode.
Oh, it's absolutely, it is Scooby-Doo with a bit of Tom and Jerry but yeah, no, he is just running away and no one, like, he's not getting hurt. Buildings are falling. He's talking to himself and screaming and crying in French. And then it comes down to it. Meryl and Millie are there. They're here to intervene the church has already been already been destroyed.
Yeah.
The main church bell has fallen into the town square. But it's like, no, we're here with the insurance agency. We are here to end this property damage. And whoever is leading the attack team of town, the crowdsource attack team says, "Oh no, we called in some specialists." And the specialists are not specialists. They're just a giant. There's just an 18-foot tall cyborg man and his weirdo dad, and
who he carries around in his pocket.
Who gets to ride in his son's pocket. A dream of many fathers, probably. Don't you wish that your child would be so big as to carry you around? Is that not letting your children thrive? They are explicitly escaped from prison. And they decide the most expedient way to trap our blonde idiot in the red coat from the opening credits, who could be a Vash, might be the Vash, who knows, is to just take some people hostage. Because Dad here is twigged to the fact that this guy has a moral compass and is a good person.
Dad does not.
Yeah, Dad does not, and he will just threaten some people to get things done. So, they agree. Shootout, showdown. My kid's giant pneumatic arm versus your 45 long 6 shot.
With 6 rounds.
6 rounds. And we, once again, our blonde idiot in the red coat mentions Rem. Knows he's got to do something good now. And they agree to draw.
He needs to stand in the place where he is. In honor of Rem.
In honor of Rem. He can't be in the corner. He needs to be in the spotlight. He needs to choose his religion of love and peace.
Yes, there we go.
Quick draw contest. Big guy decides to cheat by targeting the hostages that they were absolutely going to do. And we see the cool thing. That was
very cool. I am not going to lie.
And this is Nishimura's power move. Nishimura's power move is dropping background details, dropping sound details, no music, just the Foley of a fist the size of a truck spinning in the air, and the Foley of a revolver doing revolver things. And we see that this man, this blonde idiot savant person, stops a truck with 5 rounds.
Yes. It is quite beautiful.
And it is so damn cool, and it is at this point that I am hooked on anime forever, my 15-year-old self. It's like, nope, this is too cool, I can't ignore this anymore. And then we see him burn his 6th round, it's a hollow point probably, and just wrecks our big guy's, stump. And I guess the big guy and his dad agree to be captured again, and we see Meryl admit that this blonde idiot is the Vash the Stampede, probably.
Thank you, Meryl, for finally confirming it a little?
Just a bit. Just letting all of us viewers settle what's going on.
5 episodes in.
5 episodes in. And this is a product of anime at the time where there were a lot of 26 episode shows that were kind of light on plot, and they'd use and also they didn't want to be too plot dense because it was before PVRs and streaming and home video being super common, so they just kind of riff on the same themes over and over so that, if you didn't catch it the first week, you catch it the next and you get what's going on. And this one gets to say, okay, no, we've stewed in this thing, and we get to say for real what the premise is now, 5 episodes in. Okay, so that is our first 5 episodes. Where do you feel about this?
I like it. It's very enjoyable. Like you said, every episode, it's rather procedural. A man comes to town. There seems to be some problems. They get resolved. Did he have anything to do with that? I think. But as you said, beautiful idiot. So, no, it's good. So from what you've said, things will be clarified and expounded upon as the story goes along. His background will accrue.
Yeah.
Step by step. Now, I did notice the follow-up is only the next 3 episodes.
Yeah, so part of that is, one of the reasons why I wanted to do 5 episodes for the first episode is that is literally how this came on a disc. If you bought this on a DVD in North America in about 2002, 2003, that's what you got. All
right.
The other thing is that for next month we'll sit down again. 6 follows directly on from this and deals a lot more with world building. 7 and 8 are a two-parter, and then the next set are about one character who's going to get added to the cast, but that's for much later, I guess. This is it. Part of the format is me just sort of replicating the experience of having to wait around for discs to show up, or your anime club to bring it back, or even just your dial-up connection to finish downloading your dubious Kazaa link.
So we'll see when Disc 2 shows up at Blockbuster.
Yes, Disc 2 needs to come to 2-for-1 Video downtown so I can get it.
99-cent Video, which is also a laundromat. Let us discuss the business plans of video renters in the early days of the 21st century.
So, Justin, what do you want from what do you want to see from episodes 6, 7, and 8? What are the things you most want to see?
I want to see this beautiful idiot resolve a situation, and we're not sure if he had anything to do with that situation's resolution. I think we saw the little upside-down light bulb in this episode, right?
They are featured prominently in the opening, yeah?
Yes. So we are going to, I assume we're going to find out what that is and how it's significant. And I want to find something out about this world. I want to see, like, so where are they? How did they get here? Why are they on this really arid land? How do they eat? Where are they getting tomato sauce from?
Where do they get actual...
The Tomato Town?
Is there actually a nice spot on this earth with greenery, right? Is it nice?
Yeah.
Could it be nice?
Like as I understand, in the Western genre, you're where you are because there's a mine nearby, because you can harvest the goods of this land. Like, episode 4, where the history of murder, they seem to have over like a generation they had turned this into a flourishing land. So I'm assuming there was some farming going on there. So yeah, I'd like to see how the world fits together. And yes, I want to see Millie get lots of pastries because I need to.
More anime pastries for our good girl Millie.
I'm really going to go down to La Rose Bakery here in Milton. Sorry, yes, Millie is my best girl.
Millie's your best girl?
With that gun she carries under her skirt, and it just drops on the ground. Oops, my strap broke. Tee-hee.
That just happened.
She takes out some guy. She takes some guy out in the first episode by knocking a table into his face accidentally. And, they're like, this giant thing whose purpose and use still not 100% clear. Obviously, it will take care of a room. It takes care of business.
The other thing I should ask is, did you watch it subbed or dubbed?
I watched it dubbed.
All right. Well,
because I could not get this. I have to make a choice to watch it in sub or dub, and it switched to dub, and I could not get it to go back. I tried to bring up subtitles because I'm old and processing things is hard. So that would have been a nice option, but no. Actually, I enjoy watching the dub with the subs just to see the difference in how the story is being presented. The two translation methods, because dubbing, obviously they change a lot, and subbing, as I understand, now Scott, if I'm wrong, don't make me be an idiot here, but the dubbing is like direct translation of what they're saying in Japanese to English.
So
subtitling, the dubbing is a more of a, they take liberties with it. The dubbing will change more. They can change things. The subtitles will be like more direct of the Japanese dialogue to the English. Am I fucking that up, or am I relatively close? So
you're very close, and I think a lot of fans will say that the subtitle is always more accurate, but it is still confined by just the vagaries of language, and sometimes you're just going to have something really complicated or weird, and you're just going to settle on the closest English thing and not explain a nuance or some historical idioms or historical references will still get glossed over in a subtitle track. But it is still confined by the size of the screen and the pace of the dialogue. You have the ACS standards for subtitling and closed captioning, and you can only put so many words on screen per second, or you just lose the value of the direct translation at that point because there's too many words on it. The dub is confined on often literally the lip flap motions, and sometimes also just you got to change the order of words so that it sounds more natural out of an English actor's face. I only bring it up because this anime is notable for being the first dub role of Johnny Young Bosch, who is now a pillar, a fixture of anime dubbing. But no, this was, he was.
He's not a terrible person, is he?
No, he's not. He was the second Black Power Ranger.
Oh, there you go.
The one who was white.
Oh, Jesus. I was going to ask, is he? Because he sounded like very much a...
No,
yes, okay. Oh,
there was a bit of a...
Green Falcon, where are you going?
There's a bit of a PR kerfuffle where the first Black Power Ranger, being a black guy, was like, is that a thing we want to do? It did not help that the first yellow Power Ranger was Vietnamese by ancestry, and they're like, ooh.
I just think calling someone the White Power Ranger is just causing problems. It is a poor series of choices being made on a creative level.
Yeah, the White Power Ranger was also not was fraught. It was fraught. The color, the fact that Power Rangers depend on colors is socially fraught. But anyway, it's Johnny Young Bosch is still working in dubbing. He still seems to be a nice man who has not, done anything too bad to anyone, colleague or fan otherwise. But no, I just want to bring that up. This is Johnny Young Bosch's first role. A long career for him.
Continued to have a flourishing career.
All right. So, unless you have anything else to say.
Not off the top of my head, no.
All right.
It was very enjoyable.
All right. Well, if you're enjoying yourself, we'll be back in a month for 3 more episodes of Trigun. Until then, please enjoy our sponsor at hlj.com. Our affiliate link is in the description. You can also drop us a direct donation on Ko-fi or through our platform. Again, if you feel like it. If you don't, what's great is a rating, a review, a comment. If you tell a friend, just tell a friend. Actually, steal your mom's phone. Steal your mom's phone. Use her podcasting app that's already installed on her phone, and just add us to that. It'll
5 stars, baby.
Just add us there. Reviews are great, comments are great, but until then, we will be, as this is the first episode, we'll be setting up socials. Those links will be in the description for this, wherever you find your podcast. But until then, I want to say thank you, and I want to say have a good time, and we will see you next week when we have a bunch of light bulb moments. Not next week. Next month, we will have a bunch of light bulb moments.
Next episode.
Next time.
Yes. And we will find out.
Yeah.
Is that some kind of Japanimation thing?
Yes. What could a Japanimation thing be?